Hi, my name is Justin Garcia, licensed acupuncturist and the owner of Studio 36, Acupuncture and Integrative Medicine, located in Glendora, California. Today is the first of a series of 3 videos in which I will discuss, demonstrate, and lead you through the basics of Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan. First, we'll just take a moment to define what is Tai Chi Chuan, why we practice the way that we do, and what are the benefits. Then I'm going to lead you through a guided warm-up exercise that is designed to release tension from the body, loosen the muscles, and open the joints. Then we'll take a moment to work on and understand some fundamentals. In our second video, I will lead you through some Tai Chi Chuan drills that are designed to understand the body mechanics necessary when learning Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan. Finally, in our third video, you will be learning a short form consisting of 10 different positions that you will be able to apply all the knowledge that you've learned from the first videos. So if you're ready, let's get started in understanding and learning Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan. So what is Tai Chi Chuan? Well, Tai Chi Chuan is in fact a martial art that was developed in China many years ago. Now, Tai Chi Chuan has its roots in the small village of Chenjiagou, or Chen Village as we call it in English, which is located in the province of Henan. Now, since Tai Chi Chuan is in fact a martial art, that means that it does have martial arts techniques and capabilities. But nowadays, the majority of people only practice Tai Chi Chuan for the health benefits that it provides. Now, you've probably seen people in the parks or movies doing very nice slow motion, very mindful, very meditative. Now, Tai Chi Chuan has been called meditation in motion. So the benefits that we gain from Tai Chi Chuan are hidden within this type of practice. Our goal is to regulate our nervous system. We want to keep our body nice and calm. When we overstimulate ourselves, we increase our heart rate, we increase our breathing, we begin to sweat, right? This is stimulating our sympathetic nervous system, otherwise known as the fight or flight. Now, unfortunately, during this time, we secrete hormones that kind of hinder our immune system. So when we're able to regulate our immune system and stay in a nice, calm, parasympathetic mode, our immune system can flourish, keeping us healthy, therefore getting sick less often. You'll notice many people who practice Tai Chi Chuan on a daily basis, they tend to have fewer colds, or even if they do, they recover faster than people who don't. So, without further ado, now let's continue on with our journey learning Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan. Now I'm going to take you through a routine of exercises that is designed to loosen your muscles, open the joints, and release tension from your body. So join me now for our preparation into Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan.
So let's begin with our Fang Song loosening exercise. Step out with your left foot about hip width. We're going to drop our left ear down to our left shoulder. And head up and drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Take a deep breath in and release. Then once again, drop the left ear down to the left shoulder, and then take a deep breath in and release. And then right ear over to the right shoulder, and take a deep breath in and release. Now we're going to do one last time, but this time with the right hand, we're going to stretch it down and pre-stretch as we drop our left ear to our left shoulder. Take a deep breath in and release. And then with the left hand, pressing down, we drop our right ear to the right shoulder. Inhale and release. We're going to raise our arms up, dropping our chin towards the chest. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And then we're going to roll our head back, chin lifting up, palms facing up. Inhale and then exhale. One more time, chin down, palms facing down. Inhale and release. chest, open the abdomen, looking up, palms facing up, stretching open. Inhale and release. Very good. Now we're going to place our left arm on our right shoulder, and we're going to make backwards circular motions. Now notice that the whole body is involved. So when the arm rises up, the body rises up. Right? The arm sinks down, the body sinks down. Nice, smooth, even, fluid motion. Inhale as your arm rises up, and exhale as your arm sinks down. Keeping your back straight, the arm sinks down, rises up, sinking down, and rising up. Change direction. Inhale up, exhale, coming down. Inhale up, exhale, sinking down. So remember, inhale coming up. And we turn the body on the central axis. Exhale as we sink down. Place the right arm onto the left shoulder, and we rise up, turn, sink down, turn. So notice that the back stays straight. There's a front and backwards rotation, rotating on that central axis. The whole body sinks down, the whole body rises up. Turn, sinking down, turn, rising up. So we exhale as we sink down, and we inhale as we rise up, changing directions. Exhale, coming down, inhale, rising up, down, nice and fluid movements. Continuous rotating circular motion. And correlating the breath as we rise up and exhale as we sink down. Now place both hands on the shoulders, and we're going to alternate right and left, right and left, loosening the muscles around the shoulder, the rotator cuff muscles, keeping the joint nice and mobile. Once again, also keeping the back straight and making large circular motions with the elbow, opening the shoulder joint. And then we'll change directions and go in a reverse direction. Nice and relaxed, nice, smooth, fluid, constant motion. Okay, drop your hands down to your side. And now we're going to raise up in the middle. Bring your arms out and sinking down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, sinking down. The arms rise up in the middle, extending out and sinking down. We inhale as we come up. And we exhale, sinking down. Make sure the whole body is active, so the whole body sinks down and the whole body rises up. Making sure the movements are nice, continuous, and fluid movements. And then we change direction. Sinking down, rising up, sinking down, and inhale, rising up. Okay, next we're going to move on to the wrists. I'm going to rotate our wrists, moving from the inside out. And we do a few rotations. And then we change directions. And now we're moving from the outside coming in. Keeping your fingers extended, but yet nice and relaxed. Loosening up the wrist. Now we're going to open the chest, swinging wide, and then separating, one up, one down, and then switching on the other side. So bringing your scapula together, your shoulder blades, and then separating up and down, creating a diagonal stretch across your chest, opening the chest, nice and relaxed, opening the shoulders as well. Next, bring your arms up in front of your chest, and we're going to twist at the waist. So keeping your head straight, your spine straight, twisting and rotating around, keeping body nice and loose, feeling the stretch, and always look in the direction in which you're twisting. Alright, now let your hands hang freely at your side. And we're going to spin and twist on our central axis, creating a momentum as your arms swing side to side. Notice that the spine is straight. The chin is tucked slightly. And I just gaze left and right across the room as my body swings. Loosening your joints, your arms, shoulders, elbows, and wrists. Hang to your side. And we're going to place our hands on our lower back. And we're going to rotate gently around the lower back and waist. Now, we don't need to make an extremely large circular motion, but we want to be nice and controlled and very mindful. So slow, small, controlled rotation around the lower back. Do 3 times in one direction, and then we'll do 3 times the opposite direction. Okay, now bring it back straight. Place your hands on your hips. And we're going to rotate the hips around. So notice the head stays centered. The feet are planted firmly on the ground as the hips move in a circular motion. If you keep the knees slightly straight during this, it also helps. So the back is straight, is straight, neck is straight. Right? So we want the hips to rotate around in a circular motion, nice and fluid, continuous movement. And then we'll change direction once again, keeping the movement nice and smooth. Okay, now let's bring our feet together and we're going to place our hands above our knees. And then we're going to make circular motions going in the same direction. And what's important is that the motions are smooth and controlled. And if you do have a previous knee injury and this position is uncomfortable, or you notice that you experience some sort of pain, then by all means stop and skip this part of the exercise. Okay, now we're going to stand up. We're going to place our left toe on the ground, and we're going to make large counterclockwise circles with the knee. So we're going to loosen up the ankle, and then we want the hip joint to be very open and loose. So switching feet, right toe touches down. And focus on making large circles with the knee, keeping the ankle nice and loose and allowing the hip joint to move freely. And then finally, to wrap up our loosening exercise, we're going to interlock our fingers and we're going to stretch up. Take a deep breath in onto your toes and exhale, let all the tension out. Second time, interlock your fingers, inhale, stretching up, deep breath up onto your toes, and we say Fang Song, dropping down onto your heels and letting all the tension out. Third time, inhale, stretching up, inhale. Big stretch and exhale, Fang Song.
Great. Now that we're all warmed up, we're going to begin with the fundamental training. And the first thing that everybody needs to learn how to do, doesn't matter if you're starting to practice with the Chen style Tai Chi Chuan or a Yang style Tai Chi Chuan or any type of martial art. Very basic fundamental training we call Zhan Zhuang, or standing meditation, or sometimes referred to as tree hugging pose. Now there are variations depending on which type of lineage, different style that you're practicing, but overall the essence is the same and the mechanics are the same as well. So the first thing that we need to do, and we're going to start at the feet and work our way up to the head, is that we're going to stand with our legs just about hip width apart. So now this is a standing meditation. It's not a horse stance. It's not a sitting meditation. So we are going to stand with a higher posture. So therefore, we don't need our feet to be too wide, right? If we were going to get into a horse stance, we'll need a wider stance. But this is a standing meditation. So we're going to start with our feet just about hip width. Second, look down at your toes. We want to have the tips of our toes just slightly pointing inwards, okay? Now it's not, we don't want our toes to be inward like this, pigeon-toed, right? The idea is that we want to get the lateral outsides of our feet to be parallel. If you align your toes in which you think your toes are pointing straight, you will see that actually the sides of your feet are coming outwards. So we want to try to create a very neutral position. So by doing so, we need to have the tips of the toes just very slightly coming inwards. And then you will see that the lateral sides of your feet should be parallel to each other. Right? So we're working our way up. We're going to bend our knees slightly. And when the knees bend, we need to sink down here, and what we call in Chinese is the qua. Otherwise, anatomically, it's just the inguinal region, inguinal crease, the place where the thigh and the femur connect with the hip. So we bend our knees down and we sink downwards. So some of the common mistake is when we bend the knees, we don't open the quad, we don't sink down. So the common mistake is the knees get bent and we end up leaning back, right? So this is going to put a lot of stress on the lower back. And as you can see, this is not opened. A second common mistake would be bending the knees and sticking the backside out too far, right? So now I'm bent over. And this is also not what we're looking for. What we want to achieve is as we bend our knees, that our spine remains straight, we open the quad here in the inguinal crease, and that we sink directly down. So I have a stool here to demonstrate. So it's as if we're going to sit on a stool. You see? So when you go into a seated position, the quad opens, the tailbone drops, the back is still straight. Right? So now, like I said, this is a standing meditation, so it is not necessary to sit so far down into the stool, but it is important to understand and emphasize the opening of the quad, keeping the back straight, right? So be careful. Once again, we want to avoid this, and we also want to avoid this. We keep the back straight, the knees bend, the quad opens, and we sink down. Okay, so toes slightly pointing inwards. I bend my knees, sinking down, I open the quad. Relax the abdomen. We don't want to suck it in, we don't want to hold our tummy in. We want to relax. Right? And as we move up to the chest, I like to start with the opposite. Opposite being big broad chest, very military style, shoulders back, right? From here, simply relax the chest, allow the shoulders to drop naturally, and we arrive in our position, right? So also a common mistake here would be to, as you drop your shoulders and soften your chest, what we do not want to happen would be to hunch over like so, right? So the military style, chest is broad, shoulders are back, and we just sink the chest and drop the shoulders, allow the shoulders to relax. It's what we're looking for. Okay? So toes slightly in, knees slightly bent, quads open, abdomen is relaxed, chest is relaxed, shoulders are dropped. Next, we're going to gently tuck the chin. Now our objective is not so much on the chin, but rather on the back of the neck and in the occipital region of the skull. We're trying to create a raising sensation, a lengthening sensation in the cervical spine. So once again, an error would be to tuck the chin and drop the head down. So this is not what we're looking for. What we want to do is bring the chin in slightly, allowing for a slight stretch of the muscles in the back of the neck and in the head. So we get a raising and lifting sensation. All right. Now once we've accomplished that, we're going to rest the tip of our tongue on the roof of our mouth, just behind where your teeth meet the roof of your mouth. Ever so gently. And we can just breathe in a very natural fashion. Right? So next, to complete the posture, we're going to gently raise the arms up until they are almost parallel to the ground. We're going to drop the elbows, turning the palms facing inward, creating a nice round space between the chest, the arms, and the hands. So a common mistake here would be to raise the elbows. If the elbows are raised, the shoulders are going to be raised. So idea, we want to have the elbows dropped, the shoulders dropped, releasing tension, right? The goal is to release tension, not create tension. And then we want the hands to be out in front, nice and alive. We don't want sleepy arms, sleepy hands. We want alive, vibrant, but not stiff, okay? We don't want to be stiff like a stick, but more elastic, like an expanding or stretching of a rubber band. Now we want to check our balance and our weight distribution. We don't want our weight resting fully on our heels, so we're leaning back. And we don't want our weight to be resting on our toes, where our heels are lifting up off the ground. We're looking for a sweet spot behind the balls of the feet. Chinese, there's an acupuncture point there. It is called a yongquan. So we've aligned and found the spot behind the balls of our feet, the yongquan xue. Our pelvis is seated down in the stool, drawing down the center point in our groin, connecting to the top of our head. Arms out in front. We can close our eyes and breathe naturally. So, one of the objectives of the exercise is to work on releasing tension throughout the body. So as you begin to stand, you may notice discomfort maybe in your shoulders, maybe in your arms, maybe somewhere in your back, hips, legs, could be anywhere. Recognize those areas of discomfort. And then as we inhale and exhale, mindfully let them go. Let them release. When we are practicing Zhanzhuang, the objective and goal is not to see how still we can be and not to necessarily become a statue. A statue is solid. A statue is not alive. While we're in our standing posture, we want to be released and relaxed, but always adjusting. Micro-adjusting. Little areas here, little areas there. Breathing naturally. Becoming more and more relaxed. Now to close the exercise, we're going to take a deep breath in. And then we exhale and we sink down, letting our hands drop to our sides. Palms extending out. Inhale as we come up, gathering the chi. Palms facing down. And we exhale as we release and sink downwards. The hands rest at the side. We shift our weight to the right and we bring our left foot back over. So this is the Zhanzhuang or standing meditation exercise. Practice this every day, starting out with just 1 to 2 minutes each time. As you progress and it becomes more comfortable and you become more familiar with the exercise, slowly begin to increase your time to 2 minutes, to 5 minutes, to 10 minutes, even 30. But please, the idea is consistency. So do it a little bit every day. Build a solid practice. You can increase the duration as you go. Now in the Chen style Tai Chi Chuan system, we have a second, well there's quite a few standing poses that we could practice. But the most important is what we refer to as Lan Zha Yi, or lazily tying the coat. So to get into the Lan Zha Yi position, we first need to find an appropriate stance that is suitable for us. Now generally speaking, we can find the width of our stance by measuring out 3.5 of our own foot width. So I'll begin by placing one foot perpendicular to the other. So this is 1. I will rotate out. 2, 3. Now I will bring my heel and my foot parallel to the other, making 3.5. So for my body size, this is a very general and ideal position to start with. However, if you do feel that this is a little bit too wide and you don't feel comfortable, then by all means bring it in slightly. Okay? So, once we've found the width that is comfortable for our body, we're going to get into the Lan Zha Yi position. Now I'm going to be starting on my right side. So first thing I do, this is my right. I'm going to turn my right foot out at a 45, more or less 45-degree angle. Second, I'm going to turn my left foot out slightly. Next, I'm going to bend my knees and sink down as if I were sitting on the stool, like we had gone over in the standing meditation practice. Next, I'm going to shift my weight over to the right side. Now, what's very important here to notice is that we want to, generally speaking, okay, keep the legs open wide with the knees opening out. We don't want the legs to come in, right? We want to keep the legs open. And as we sit down, here into the quad. So for Lanzai, notice my leg. I have about 70% of my body weight onto my right leg, and I have a perpendicular angle with my lower leg in the ground. About 30% of my weight is on my left leg, and as you can see, the two angles are different. I'm going to place my left hand on my left hip, and I'm going to extend my right arm out in the direction above my right knee. I turn my head, looking in the direction of the middle finger of my right hand. All the components that were discussed in the standing meditation also apply here. You want to keep the abdomen nice and relaxed. We don't want the chest to be open. We relax the chest, drop the shoulders. We slightly tuck the chin, raising the spine, keeping the body straight. And we hold for about 30 seconds. You can hold for 1 minute, just as you do the standing meditation. We start with a shorter duration, but we look for consistency in practice. As we develop our skill, we can increase the time as we go. Okay? So I'm going to drop my arm. Now I will continue on the other side, so I need to adjust my feet. I bring in my right toe, I turn out my left toe. I sit down as I'm looking to sit on a stool. Shift my weight to the left side. 70% of my weight on the left side, 30% on the right. The legs are open, knees are turning out. So I'm bringing my body down. Place my right hand on the right hip. Extend my left arm out in the direction of my left knee. Now, to avoid injury, it's very important that we take care of our knees, and we want to make sure that we have the proper alignment, the proper position. One way to check is if I look down from the inside of my leg, I should be able to see the tip of my toe, which I can. If, however, you look downwards and you see your leg and you see your knee, then therefore the leg, the thigh on this side is not open up enough. If we continue to practice this way with our knee coming down over our toe, it puts too much of our body weight directly onto the knee itself. So this will create problems later as we practice. So you look down onto this left side. If you cannot see your toe, bring your leg, open your legs up. So now you can see your toe. So from the side, the knee and the toe should be in more or less in alignment. What we don't want is we do not want this. Okay, so this is putting a lot of stress on my knees. So you want to bring it up, open your thighs, and shift over. We should still see the tip of the toe. So when just starting out, better to bring your stance in a little bit. It's a little bit safer, so we can prevent injury. Once again, hold for about 1 minute and repeat on the other side. Now, the second most common position that we come across when practicing Chen style Tai Chi Chuan is the position called Dan Bian, or otherwise known as single whip. So to get into single whip, first we'll find our position that we had practiced earlier and what is comfortable with you, right? And just starting out, we can make the stance a little less wide. So just like we had done the single hand Lan Jia Yi on the left side, we're going to turn the left toe out 45 degrees, and then we slightly turn the right toe out. We bend both knees, sit down into the stool, shift our weight to the left side, opening up the legs, knees extending outwards, opening the qua, sitting down. Left hand is extended out. So here we had just reviewed Lan Jia Yi. This would be on the left side, Lan Jia Yi. So to perform single whip, we're going to make what we call as a hook with the right hand, and the left hand will open up just as we had done with Lan Jia Yi. So, how to make the hook? We touch the thumb and the middle finger together, and then we allow the other fingers to gently close in. You see? So Chinese we call it go shou. English is just we say the hook. So Lan Jia Yi, right hand is a hook, left hand open and out, just as we had done Lan Jia Yi position. But now both arms are open. We call single whip, Dan Bian. So just as practicing the lazily tying the coat or the Lan Jia Yi, we want our weight distribution to be 70% weight on my left leg, 30% weight on my right leg. So what does that mean actually? Well, it means that 30% of my weight is on this leg, so this leg can still move rather freely. 70% on this leg, I can't really move it. All my weight is on this side, 70%. Okay? We keep the center of the body straight. We drop the shoulders, we drop the elbows. So if you're working in front of a mirror or if a window with a reflection, check for your shoulders. We don't want one shoulder to be up and the other shoulder down. Shoulders even across, elbows even, wrists even. The only difference is here on our left hand, the fingers are raised up and we have the hook on the right. So we can hold this position as well as a standing exercise. And then we can close, bring your hands down, take a deep breath in, and exhale, sinking down. Right? Then we can practice again onto the right side. So once again, I find my stance. I'll be working on the right. So I'm going to turn my right foot out 45 degrees. The left foot just slightly moving outwards. So be careful, remember, we do not want both toes to be opening out like this. This results in a very poor posture and poor balance as well. And it is not stable. So we bring in the left toe. Only the right side is going to be 45 degrees. So we bend the knees slightly down, open the quads, sinking down as if sitting into a stool, shift my weight onto the right side. We have a good 90 degrees, so very perpendicular with the lower leg. Knees opened out, 70% of the weight on the right, 30% onto the left. Now remember, just as we had practiced in the Lanjai, I want to look down and be able to see my toe. If I look down and I see my leg, there's a good chance that my hip is shifted and I'm pushing my weight forward rather than opening and over to the side. Right? So this is very important so we don't make this mistake. Looking again, once again from the side. When the knees are opened outwards and the quad is sunken in, you can see my knee and my toe. The line from my knee down to my toe, my knee does not cross over my toe. So an incorrect posture would be sitting down and this knee moving forward. You see how now my knee is extending forward beyond my toe. This is creating all of the weight up from here on up. It's coming directly down onto this joint, which will result in injury and discomfort as we practice. So we want to avoid that by bringing the body up, opening the knees out, and we shift, and I look down on the inside of my thigh, inside of my knee, and I'm able to see my toe. Right? And so equally on the other leg, the knee should not be rolled inwards. We never want to have our weight going like this. Right? We open up and we sink down. And remember, if you're ever not sure, bring your stance in a little bit and don't sink down too low. Just slightly bend the knees, slightly open the quad, sitting down on the stool, and shift your weight. Okay, so once again, getting back to our position of the single whip on the right side. Foot is in 45 degrees. So just as we had done as the lazily tying the coat. Now we raise the left hand into a hook. And we can hold. And practice holding the danbian or single whip position. hold for approximately 30 seconds, 1 minute, and then break. We practice consistently every day. As it becomes easier, as we become more comfortable, then we can extend the time to 2 minutes, possibly 5. Okay. Then when we're ready to close the exercise, we inhale, exhale, bringing the arms together, feet together. And then inhale, take a deep breath in. And exhale, sinking down. So now that we have reviewed, we have standing meditation, or the 站桩 position. And then we have 懒扎衣, or lazily tying the coat. And then third, we have 单边, or the single whip position. So this concludes the first video, and now I've given you 3 standing positions to practice. Practice these and know them well. For the next video, we will show you how to utilize the position using our body mechanics and putting these positions into motion. So I look forward to having you for my second video, and take care.